Got kind of a controversial one for you. And look, if you just don't like family friendly, you don't like flat, you don't like getting better, more modern style housing, look, maybe this Ewa Beach area just isn't the place for you. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 worst things about living in Ewa Beach right now. What's going on? Welcome to the Living in Hawaii channel. If you are new here, this channel is all about what it's like to live in Hawaii, what it's like to eat, sleep, play, breathe, the up, down, left, and right. Everything that you need to know about living in Hawaii. If you're not new here, welcome on back. Make sure you all hit that like button. It's going to help anybody else be able to find these helpful videos. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you get notified anytime that we put a new video out on this channel. You don't want to miss it. And look, we get so many people that are either thinking about making that move, have already decided to make that move, or they're already here and they're trying to find a place that best fits their lifestyle. They reach out and we absolutely love it. And you can do the same thing too. You can shoot us a text, give us a call, send us that email. You can shoot me in the DMs. However you're comfortable getting a hold of us, we got your back when it comes to living in Hawaii. This information is coming to you from somebody who lives in the area. Okay, I actually live in Ewa with the zip code of 96706. That covers all of Ewa, and we are out here on the southeastern-ish area, southern shores of the island. And look, so this is coming from somebody who lives here. I live here. This is something and stuff that I experience every day. And so kicking things off with number 5. Ewa Beach is the hottest place on the island. All right. In my opinion, anyway, and I'm not pulling up any data to show you, but to me and a lot of other people that you may see in the comments may testify to this too. Anytime you hear Ewa Beach, it's just correlated or associated with hot. It's hot. All right. It's hot down here because Ewa is a plain. All right, we are the Ewa Plain. It is hot. It used to be plantation fields, and now it's mostly neighborhoods and shopping centers and stuff like that for Ewa and Kapolei, because Kapolei is in the Ewa Plain as well. But it's the Ewa Plain. So we don't have any mountains over here. We're not on the windward side. We're not getting the trade winds. It's hot. All right. It's just, it just is. Okay. We don't have the shade from the mountains and all those things. We don't, like I said, we don't get the trade winds from those guys over there. Up on North Shore, keeping it cool up there too. It's pretty breezy, but down here, it's almost like we're barricaded in, right? Because you got the Waianae Mountains on this side, and then you got the Ko'olaus over there on the east where the trade winds come in, and it's blocked by these super tall mountains, Jurassic Park style mountains that you see in the movies and stuff. And it's almost like we're blocked off from all that down here. And so the trade winds, it comes from that side. It doesn't come up from the south. Now, I'm not saying the wind doesn't blow here at all, but it's just hot. It's super hot over here because we don't have these other things that are contributing factors. And you've seen some of the comments in the videos too, where we talk about electric bills, because this is where it plays a huge role. All right. And this is considered to be one of those worst things about living in Ewa is your electric bill, Ewa Kapolei, right? Because we're all in the Ewa Plain, but we're talking about Ewa specifically in this one, Ewa Beach, 96706 for all of it. But down here, our electric bills are typically just higher than everybody else's, right? For the most part, whether somebody lives up in Pearl City or Pearl Heights, or if somebody's living on the windward side and they don't have to run their AC near as much as somebody who is down in Ewa, our electric bills are a lot higher because the AC is constantly battling the sun, right? Constantly battling the sun to keep it cooler in that house. That thing is always running, and therefore you're getting huge electric bills. We actually talked about that in the cost of living video update that was recently put out on this channel. You can go check that out after this video, where I actually show you my electric bill. And this past month, it was above $500 because we're here in the summer. We're in the thick of it. It is hot, right? We got kids, we got dogs, and everybody needs to be cooled down. And we can't just have the temperature outside being inside the house, because that's in the 90s and that's ridiculous. And we're not doing that. So down here in Ewa, just hotter than everywhere else on the island. Number 4 on our list is getting out of Ewa Beach. This is just like, man, it's a headache, right? Getting out of Ewa is really a headache. Now, if you're going to Kapolei, maybe not so much. There's tons of different ways as far as back roads go, taking Kapolei Parkway, if you're taking Roosevelt and taking the back roads. behind the new mall and those types of things, which they're putting a stoplight back there now, which I'm not a big fan of. So if you take the back roads all the way past where you're going to take like the left to White Plains, and you got that neighborhood over there that is owned and managed by a big company, and then you keep on going back. But when you get towards or past the mall, but when you get towards the high school where there's usually a 4-way stop, they're making it a stoplight now. Not a big fan of it, but that's what happens with development and those types of things. But getting out of Ewa. And so what I'm really referring to is maybe you're in the military and you're thinking about living in Ewa, or you're working at the airport or wherever it is that you're working, and you're like, look, I see the homes down there. And if you're looking at the homes in Ewa, it's just more newer and modern in some neighborhoods versus a lot of the other island. And I really like those styles. But one of the biggest things that we talk about on our calls when people do reach out and we get on Zoom calls is we talk about proximity to where you are going to be working or where you're going to be most frequently at the time of year or while you're here, right? You're living here and you're planning routes, cool, but where are you going to be working, right? Is that going to be something that you're okay with? Because getting out of Ewa is Fort Weaver. Fort Weaver Road is atrocious. Fort Weaver Road sucks. It's bad. All right, getting out of Ewa, and if you have to get on Fort Weaver to get out of Ewa, it's almost like the road that never ends. And in the morning times too, if you're getting stuck in that traffic in the morning, it's like, man, you're probably going to feel like you catch every single red light, which most likely is the case anyway, every single red light just to get to H1 and just to get stuck on traffic in H1. So getting out of Ewa is just, it's a headache. And I actually go to UFC gym in Waikele. So I leave Ewa every day and I take Fort Weaver every day. And it does add a little bit extra time to the drive, to get out of Fort Weaver, but it's just one of those things. And again, people who have done it or have lived in Ewa may comment on this video and tell you and really just testify like Fort Weaver, man, Fort Weaver's a B. Like, whew, getting out of here, you have to take Fort Weaver. You got to keep on cruising down. Now you may take Kunia Road straight up, right? And you may go straight up Kunia Road, or you may be heading H1 West, H1 East. Either way though, if you're not heading west to Kapolei in one of those back roads, or even on Kapolei Parkway. So even Kapolei Parkway is getting kind of bad, right? When we're talking about leaving Ewa to go to Kapolei, which we do a ton, right? We do a lot of things in Kapolei, which we'll talk about later. But even Kapolei Parkway is getting kind of bad with all the stoplights on Kapolei Parkway. It's like gas brake, gas brake, gas brake. It's like, man, I catch every light every single time, or at least that's what it feels like, right? And so I'm not trying to turn this into a big complaint session, but just so that you know, like if you're planning on living in Ewa, just let you know, like getting out of Ewa can be a big pain. Number 3 on our list is look, the beaches in Ewa Beach just aren't the nicest. All right. It's not the nicest beaches that the island has to offer. Now, if that's something that's not a big deal to you, like it's not for us, then hey, no worries, right? It's cool. But if you're somebody that's like, I want to be near the nicest beach, then Ewa's not the place for you. All right. We don't have the nicest beaches. Ewa Beach, really in the back of Ewa has a really nice it has a golf course across the street from it. And then there's a big field and a big park and a pavilion. And then you walk out to the beach, you'll probably see somebody fishing. Down here in Halbush or Oniula, right? That's another one where you're going to see some tents. You're going to see a bunch of people fishing. You go surf out there, catch some little 1 to 3s, right? I think the biggest I've seen out there was probably 5-footers. I'm talking about waves, by the way. Surfing and catching waves out there, but not necessarily the nicest beaches down here in Ewa. Now, what they are doing though, as far as when I walk my dog down there every night and I see those, the construction is what they're doing is they're building a resort and they're trying to make it kind of like Ko'olina style. And if you don't know what Ko'olina is, it's a resort area in Kapolei where Disney, Aulani is, the Four Seasons, the Marriott, the Ko'olina golf course where PGA tournaments are held. Roy's is over there, which is a very nice restaurant. A lot of cool things over there in Ko'olina. And so they're kind of trying to mimic that over here in Ewa and Ocean Point with Ho'akalei Golf Course, right? And so they're calling it the Ho'akalei resort area, where basically it's going to mimic Ko'olina. And they basically already have plans in place to create this big resort with one of the largest wave pools, in the United States, I believe, but one of the largest wave pools. And so what this will do is it will create jobs and it will create more people coming into Ewa. That doesn't really necessarily translate to having the nicest beaches. There are plans to clean up that beach as far as make it nicer. and maybe make it more family friendly, especially if they have like a resort, right, where families are most likely going to stay. But there are plans to clean it all up. And so we'll see how it progresses. And if you know how we do anything in Hawaii, we do it slow and steady, and behind pace. But it's going to be a slow development, but the construction is going on over there, and I have seen it. And this may also impact home prices as far as appreciation goes, right? When you're talking about Ko Olina, you can check out the vlog tour on this channel. It's in the Kapolei playlist. But when we're talking about Ko Olina and the home prices over there, because it is a resort area, because it's, you know, beautifully like upkept and stuff like that, homes over there are pretty pricey. And so we're not there yet necessarily in certain parts of Ewa, but we do expect that to have an impact positively on what we're talking about, home appreciations and those types of things. But taking it all the way back to, you know, one of the worst things is we just don't have the nicest beaches compared to like Kailua, some beaches in North Shore and things like that over here in Ewa. Number 2 on our list down here in Ewa is we just don't have a ton of shopping. All right. If you're thinking about malls or movie theaters and stuff like that down here in Ewa, we don't really have that. All right. We don't have that. We do have some grocery stores and shopping centers. When you're driving through Ewa, first one you're probably going to see is Zippy's over there. You're going to see Zippy's. You're going to see a gas station. All right. That's like the first small one. As you keep going, you're on the right, you're going to have Foodland over there on the next stop, or 2 stoplights down, you're going to have Foodland on the right and a nice little shopping center there. And then if you keep going down a little bit further on Keanui, that's going to be the newest or newer shopping center we have here in Ewa, where you're going to have Safeway, Buffalo Wild Wings, the banks, Starbucks, some other things over there, GNC, a lot of cool places to eat. Jolene's is over there too. Jolene's is actually really good. If you're down in Ewa, you should definitely go check out Jolene's. They got that, it's like a Papa Smokes burger. It's brisket and a burger with the bar. Oh man, it's good. It's really good. So yeah, definitely check out Jolene's if you're down there in that shopping center. But anyway, there's a Safeway over there, gas station. There's a Petco. I actually just took my dog over there to get his nails cut and get him a bath, and he felt all like spunky and clean afterwards. He was all happy about it. Cool. But I love my dog. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see him a lot. I promise you. I'm always posting my dog on Instagram. But the shopping over there, and then yeah, Safeway is the grocery store there, so pretty cool. But like I said, we just don't have a ton. So if you're looking for like the big box stores, we don't have a Walmart or a Target over here. We don't have those big box stores. We don't have a Costco in Ewa. Ewa is mostly comprised of schools, a couple little shopping centers, like I just mentioned, and then basically neighborhoods, right? Neighborhoods and family-friendly communities for the most part down here in Ewa. And so, I mean, those shopping centers do give you what you need for the most part. But when it comes to like the big box stores, for instance, like my wife goes to Target over in Kapolei, which is about a 10-15 minute drive over there in Kapolei every weekend. That's her happy place. And so Target, like I said, 10-15 minutes away, which isn't bad. And over there in that same area, that's where the Costco, the movie theater. So it's happening over there in Kapolei, right? The second city. If you haven't seen any of our videos on Kapolei, again, a whole playlist of Kapolei on this channel, but it's the second city over there. They have all the other things. So if it's like, if we can't get it the gas or the store or whatever it is that we need here, and we do most of our grocery shopping at Costco anyway, we just take that 10-15 minute drive. And we already talked about getting out of Ewa, so we try to find all the back roads to get out of Ewa to get there pretty quickly, so that we don't have to take Kapolei Parkway. But for the most part, like I said, there's just not a ton of shopping down here in Ewa. If you haven't already picked up on this, and I've been saying it essentially throughout the entire video, but number 1 on our list is going to be that you have to leave Ewa to do pretty much anything. Anything outside of shopping at our smaller grocery stores and shopping centers that we do have here in Ewa, you pretty much have to leave Ewa to do anything else. I've kind of already told you, like, look, Kapolei is the second city. It's right there. It's 10-15 minutes away. And we don't necessarily mind that, right? Going over there and going to the movie theaters over there, going to Target over there, going to Costco and Home Depot over there if we need stuff like that, right? So essentially, though, when some of the other things that you may have to leave Ewa to do. I've already talked about Ewa being a plain, right? We don't have the mountains and all that cool stuff over here. We do have a little bit of surfing. So if you're one that's like me, and I'm not trying to go out there and cut the line and rip the waves and do all that cool stuff, I'm not surfing in competitions. I just like to go out there and I just like to cruise, right? I just like to cruise, you know, my little 3-footers. That's perfect for me, right? We do have that. But if you are someone that does like the bigger swells and you want to go catch the cool waves and stuff like that, then hey, maybe, you know, North Shore, Windward, those areas over there, Makaha, even up on the west side. But down here, our swells, like, there's not much of a swell, really. That's actually an overused word for what we have down here on the south side anyway. So, and that's kind of like the same waves that like Waikiki, right? Waikiki is a big tourist surfing spot, right? For those reasons. But as far as surfing goes in those types of things, if you want to go surfing, you got to go over there, right? When it comes to snorkeling, not really got a lot of that either, right? If you're talking about water stuff. So Electric Beach up the west side has really, really good snorkeling spots. Even Ko'olina has a decent snorkeling spot if you go to what they call the secret beach, which is not so secret. And then out there on the east side, Hawaii Kai, you got Hanama Bay, all right? We don't have that here in Ewa. So we're talking about leaving Ewa to do everything. If you want to go hiking, you do all your hiking at your own risk, okay? But if you want to do any hiking, right, you got to go west side. Maili Pillbox, right, the big pink bunker up on the hill. You can check that out. Makua Cave up there on the west side, right? Waterfalls, east side, right? Pali Highway, not Pali Highway, sorry, up the Pali Highway, you can go do Lulumahu Falls, which is a waterfall, hiking at your own risk, all right? All the waterfalls and a lot of those cool hikes are east side. Coco Head is in Hawaii Kai. So when we're talking about those areas, which we do on this channel, it's like, hey, they have these over here. But if you're talking about doing those things, all right, then it's like, hey, we got to leave Ewa to do a lot of these other things. And so for us, we don't mind it, all right? We don't mind it because it's like, hey, we're gonna go spend the day over here on this side. Like, let's get out of Ewa for a little bit. Let's go hang over here on this side. But if you're looking for those family-friendly communities, the newer, more modern homes, or being within proximity to Schofield, or even some of these other bases, then it may be the spot for you. But as far as like all those adventurous things, outdoor things, even the bigger shopping and the malls and whatnot, like pretty much got to leave Ewa Beach. So that can be kind of mind racking, especially if you're digging Fort Weaver at a peak time of the day. That can really, really put a dent in your plans. So something that you got to keep in mind if you're considering living down here in Ewa. We just covered the 5 worst things about living in Ewa Beach. But again, some of those things that are on that list may just be things for you, like it is for us, that it's just like, hey, we're okay with that. Like, that's not really that big of a deal. We'd rather live in a spot, and we're talking about weighing, you know, what do we want, what we don't want, right? What are our deal breakers? What are we okay with? Like, that actually doesn't bother us at all. We don't mind taking the 45-minute drive to Kailua to hang out in Kailua for the day, right? Go chill on the beach and then stop at Whole Foods and get a massive burrito. And then, hey, we'll make our way back, right? It's not that bad. So that's just how we see it, right? That's how we see it. Like I said, Ko'olina, 15, 20 minutes away. We're going to take the kids over to Ko'olina, blow up our big rafts, hang out in the lagoon. That's how we feel about it. But those can be some of the 5 worst things that a lot of people do, you know, find other places to live when it comes to living in Hawaii and finding that maybe Ewa Beach isn't their spot. But for us, it is. All right. So if you made it this far and you haven't already hit the like button, please do so. Going to help anybody else be able to find these helpful videos. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you get notified anytime that we put a new video out on this channel. And like I said in the beginning, we get so many people reaching out every single day, and we absolutely love it. And you can do the same thing too. However you're comfortable, text, email, phone call, DMs, whichever the case, you can reach out. We will get in touch, and we will definitely schedule a call so we can talk more about your move to Hawaii, because we got your back when it comes to anything living in Hawaii. I talked about Ko'olina, Kapolei, and tons of other areas, vlog tours where I'm out in the community. We're out in the community doing these things, showing you these communities. All those are going to start popping up for you right now.